The Middle East has long been a cauldron of geopolitical tensions. At the heart of this volatile mix lies the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran. This rivalry extends far beyond a simple border dispute. It is a complex web of historical grievances, ideological clashes, and strategic maneuvering. This rivalry has played out in the shadows for decades. Covert operations, proxy wars, and the constant threat of escalation have kept the region on edge. The conflict's complexity makes it challenging to unravel. However, understanding its roots is crucial to grasping the potential consequences. This essay aims to shed light on the Israel-Iran conflict, examining its historical context, the motivations of both sides, and the potential ramifications for the region and the world. The stakes are high, and the consequences of miscalculation could be catastrophic. The roots of the Israel-Iran conflict run deep, intertwining historical grievances with modern ideological clashes. While relations between the two states were initially cordial following Israel's establishment in 1948, the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran marked a turning point. The theocratic regime that emerged under Ayatollah Khomeini viewed Israel as an illegitimate entity. They saw it as a Western outpost in the heart of the Muslim world. This ideological opposition to Israel's existence became a cornerstone of Iran's foreign policy. Further fueling the rivalry is the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Iran has consistently positioned itself as a champion of the Palestinian cause. They have provided support to Palestinian militant groups, further antagonizing Israel. This dynamic has created a volatile cycle of mistrust and hostility. The historical and ideological factors at play make the Israel-Iran conflict particularly intractable. Both sides view the other as an existential threat, making compromise and reconciliation difficult to achieve. A defining feature of the Israel-Iran conflict is the use of proxies. Iran has long provided financial, military, and logistical support to militant groups opposed to Israel. Two groups in particular have played a pivotal role in this shadow war: Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Hezbollah, a Shia Islamist political party and militant group, has been a thorn in Israel's side for decades. Backed and armed by Iran, Hezbollah has engaged in numerous cross-border attacks and kidnappings, posing a constant security threat to Israel's northern border. Hamas, a Palestinian Sunni Islamic fundamentalist organization, controls the Gaza Strip. Like Hezbollah, Hamas has received substantial support from Iran, bolstering its ability to challenge Israel militarily. This support has included the transfer of weapons, technology, and training. Iran's support for these militant groups has significantly impacted the regional security landscape. It has enabled these groups to pose a persistent threat to Israel, fueling a cycle of violence and instability. Section 4. The nuclear threat, Israel's concerns and covert actions. Adding another layer of complexity to the conflict is Iran's nuclear program, which has been a focal point of international scrutiny and concern for many years. Israel views Iran's nuclear ambitions as an existential threat, fearing that a nuclear-armed Iran would embolden its adversaries and destabilize the entire region. This fear is rooted in the long-standing hostilities between the two nations and the broader geopolitical implications for the Middle East. Israel has repeatedly stated that it will not allow Iran to acquire nuclear weapons and has undertaken a range of covert actions to sabotage Iran's nuclear program. These actions are part of a broader strategy to ensure its national security and maintain a balance of power in the region. These actions have included cyber attacks, which are designed to disrupt and delay Iran's nuclear capabilities without direct military confrontation. The assassination of Iranian nuclear scientists aimed at crippling the program by removing key personnel and creating a climate of fear and uncertainty, and sabotage of nuclear facilities, which directly impacts Iran's ability to progress with its nuclear ambitions. The most well-known example of Israel's covert operations was the Stuxnet computer worm, a sophisticated malware that reportedly set back Iran's nuclear program by several years. This cyber weapon was a groundbreaking development in the realm of cyber warfare. The Stuxnet attack not only demonstrated Israel's technical prowess, but also highlighted the increasing role of cyber operations in modern conflicts. It served as a wake-up call to the international community about the potential of cyber warfare. These actions highlight the lengths to which Israel is willing to go to prevent a nuclear-armed Iran. The stakes are incredibly high, and Israel's determination is unwavering. The issue of Iran's nuclear program has been a major source of international tension, involving not just Israel and Iran, but also major world powers and international organizations, and has led to numerous rounds of sanctions against Iran. These sanctions have had significant economic impacts, contributing to the devaluation of the Iranian currency and affecting the daily lives of its citizens. While a nuclear deal was reached in 2015, known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, it was seen as a significant diplomatic achievement aimed at curbing Iran's nuclear capabilities in exchange for lifting economic sanctions. However, it has since unraveled, particularly after the United States withdrew from the agreement in 2018, leading to renewed tensions and uncertainty about the future of Iran's nuclear program. The path forward remains fraught with challenges and potential conflicts. Section 5. Fighting in the Shadows, Cyber Warfare, Assassinations and Proxy Battles. In this section, we delve into the clandestine tactics and covert operations that define modern conflicts, particularly focusing on the ongoing struggle between Israel and Iran. The Israel-Iran conflict is often characterized as a shadow war, fought through covert means rather than open warfare. This conflict is not fought on traditional battlefields, but in the shadows where secrecy and subterfuge are paramount. This shadowy conflict encompasses a range of tactics, including cyber attacks, assassinations, sabotage, and the use of proxies. Each of these methods allows the involved parties to strike at their adversaries without engaging in direct conventional warfare. Cyber warfare has become an increasingly important battleground in the conflict. The digital realm offers a new frontier for espionage, disruption, and destruction, where battles are fought with keystrokes and algorithms rather than bullets and bombs. Both Israel and Iran have sophisticated cyber capabilities and have been accused of launching debilitating cyber attacks against each other's critical infrastructure, financial institutions, and government agencies. These cyber attacks can cripple essential services, steal sensitive information, and sow chaos and confusion. Targeted assassinations have also been a hallmark of the shadow war. These operations are meticulously planned and executed, often involving extensive surveillance and intelligence gathering. Israel has been accused of carrying out a campaign of assassinations targeting Iranian nuclear scientists, military commanders, and other key figures. These high-stakes missions aim to disrupt Iran's nuclear ambitions and weaken its military leadership. These assassinations, often carried out with daring and precision, have dealt significant blows to Iran's nuclear and military programs. The impact of these operations extends beyond the immediate loss of life, sending a clear message of deterrence and capability. The use of proxies, as discussed earlier, is another key element of the shadow war. Proxies allow nations to extend their influence and project power without direct involvement, creating layers of deniability and complexity. By supporting and arming groups like Hezbollah and Hamas, Iran can strike at Israel indirectly, avoiding direct confrontation but fueling instability and violence in the region. These proxy groups serve as extensions of Iranian power, engaging in guerrilla warfare, rocket attacks, and other forms of asymmetric conflict. The shadow war between Israel and Iran is a multifaceted conflict that involves not just military and cyber tactics, but also diplomatic maneuvers and economic sanctions. Each side seeks to outmaneuver the other on multiple fronts, making this a complex and enduring struggle. Section 6. A Global Tinderbox: Implications for the Middle East and the World. The title itself suggests the gravity of the situation, highlighting the far-reaching consequences that extend beyond the immediate region. The Israel-Iran conflict is not just a regional concern, it has implications for global security and stability. This conflict, rooted in deep-seated historical, religious, and political differences, has the potential to reshape alliances and power dynamics on a global scale. The conflict has the potential to ignite a wider regional war, drawing in major powers and unleashing chaos in an already volatile part of the world. The Middle East, with its complex web of alliances and enmities, could see a domino effect, where one skirmish leads to a full-blown regional war. The involvement of the United States, a staunch ally of Israel, adds another layer of complexity. The US has significant strategic interests in the region, including military bases and economic ties, which means any escalation could have direct repercussions for American foreign policy and military strategy. Any direct confrontation between Israel and Iran could easily escalate, drawing the US into a conflict with Iran with potentially catastrophic consequences. The ripple effects of such a confrontation would be felt worldwide, affecting not just the countries directly involved, but also their allies and adversaries. Furthermore, the conflict has implications for global energy markets. The Middle East is a critical hub for oil production and export, and any instability in the region can lead to significant fluctuations in oil prices. The Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway for global oil shipments, lies in close proximity to Iran. This narrow passage is one of the most strategically important choke points in the world, with a significant portion of the world's oil supply passing through it daily. Any disruption to shipping in the strait, whether intentional or accidental, would have a significant impact on global oil prices and the global economy. The economic ramifications would be felt far and wide, affecting everything from fuel prices to the cost of goods and services. The Israel-Iran conflict is a powder keg in a region already rife with tension. The Middle East has long been a hotspot for geopolitical strife, and this conflict only adds fuel to the fire, exacerbating existing tensions and creating new flashpoints. The international community must work actively to de-escalate tension, promote dialogue, and find a peaceful resolution to this dangerous conflict. Diplomatic efforts, though challenging, are essential to prevent a full-scale war that could have devastating consequences. The alternative is a wider war with potentially devastating consequences for the region and the world. The human cost of such a conflict would be immense, with countless lives lost and communities destroyed. It is imperative that global leaders come together to seek a peaceful solution for the sake of regional stability and global peace.